Hello everybody. So let's talk about sleeves. A lot of people find sleeves to be very difficult to draft, or when they draft the sleeve they find out they normally have the problem of the sleeve head being, the excess on the sleeve head being too much, and so they will have to struggle they have to struggle to ease the sleeve into the arm style of the blouse or of the shirt or of the bodice, whatever it is they are working with. So I'm going to show you the method that I use. It's pretty simple and it works every single time. So first of all, you measure the arm sky, the front armhole and the back armhole of the bodice. Before I continue, this is the first of the sleeve series. So we're going to have the construction of the sleeve, and then we'll also have alterations, how we can do different alterations, how to raise the sleeve head, how to lower the sleeve head, how to add volume, how to create different basic styles, basic designs of the sleeve. Then we'll go from basic designs, sleeve designs, to complex sleeve design. So we'll have like, it will be like it's a series of like 5 or 6 videos. I'm not sure, it might go longer than that, but you can always subscribe to any particular style or any particular group of styles that you want to learn. Okay, first things first. These are the tools that you will need, that will be required to draft this sleeve, your basic sleeve. First of all, you need your pencil. You can't do anything with your pencil or whatever it is that you want to use to draw. I also have an eraser here. And then I have my curves. You cannot do without your curves. I have my curves. We have this. I do not use the hip curve. I use the armhole curve and the neck curve. So these curves are the ones I use. And then your clear ruler or your ruler, it doesn't have to be clear plastic ruler, but you need a ruler. And then you need a measuring tape or a flexible ruler for you, so that you can use to take the measurement around. Then you need your bodice blocks, the ones that you're using to construct in the size required. Right, so the measurements that we're going to use are your front armhole measurement and the back. This is the front armhole measurement and the back armhole measurement. We're also going to require sleeve length. That is the shoulder, from the shoulder point to around your wrist, just a little over your wrist, so that your hand, your entry point, so that your hand can pass through. So with ease, that's how we measure it. You might also want to use, especially when you want to do a fitted sleeve, you might also need your elbow measurement. But for this basic sleeve that we're doing, we're not going to use the elbow measurement. So the measurements that I'm going to use, we're going to use metric measurements. So the measurements we're going to use, our sleeve length, for the sake of this construction, is 57 centimeters. We're going to use 22 centimeters for the wrist. 22 for the wrist measurement, wrist will be 22 centimeters, while our sleeve length will be 57 centimeters. So right now I'm going to show you how to measure your armhole. You must not, in taking measurement of any form of curves, you will have to use the edge of your tape, in taking the measurements, the edge of your tape. So here, we'll measure it this way, using the edge of my tape. I hope you can see what I'm doing clearly. I measure my armhole, and here I have 23 centimeters, so I'm going to note that down as back armhole 23 centimeters. So now we're going to take the measurement of the front armhole, and we're going to do it exactly the same way with the edge of the tape. If you take the measurement with your tape flat, you will not get correct measurements, the correct figure. So I'm doing the front right now. And for the front, I have 21.5 centimeters. So my front armhole is 21.5 centimeters. Now, we'll put this away. We don't need it right now anymore for any calculation. So what I will ordinarily do is to take, so that I can have my drafting to be very fast, I'll take my drafts. I fold it lengthwise down the middle. Right? Okay, so I decided to change this into a white paper so that you can see all my markings clearly. So I've just folded it, the paper, lengthwise, and I've opened it up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a line down the middle of the paper. All the way down, and then I hope you can see my lines clearly. So I'm going to mark here as the top of the sleeve. So I'm going to mark it as A. So the top of my sleeve here will be marked A. Then I'm going to measure the length of the sleeve. The length of my sleeve is 57 centimeters. So I'm just going to measure 57 centimeters here. And then I'll draw a line across. There. So now I'm going to measure 14.5 centimeters down from A. and mark as C. I'm going to draw another perpendicular line across. I have to be sure this is 14.5. Okay. Okay, fantastic. So now we have this at this side is going to be, we're going to mark this as our back armhole, and we're going to calculate this as our front armhole. So on your back armhole, you measure from A, back armhole plus 1. Our back armhole measured 23 centimeters. So we're going to measure, that's 23 centimeters plus 1. That's equals to 24 centimeters. So we're going to measure from A, 24 centimeters to touch the C line. So I'm just going to take 24 here. If you have, alternatively, if you have a protractor that is long enough that can take 23 centimeters, maybe those types that are used for technical drawing, you can always measure 24 centimeters on your ruler using your protractor, and then from this point you see where it hits this point. That's another way of getting exact measurements. Okay, so this is my 24 centimeters. I'm going to divide this line into 3. So 24 divided by 3, I have 8. So I'm going to have 8 centimeters here. 16. No, sorry, I have to divide it into 3. So I have to have 3 points. So I'm going to divide it into I'm going to divide it by 4. So I'm going to get 6, 6. So I'm going to get 6. I'm going to get 12. My 12 point here. And I'm going to get 18. So we have A, B, C. So I'm going to call this point here D, I'm going to call this point here E, and I'm going to call this point here F for reference purposes. So we have D, we have E, and we have F. We'll do the same thing for the front, but for the front, we're going to use exact front armhole measurement. What we got was 21.5. So we're going to measure 21.5 to the front. From A to the line, so this will be our front armhole. So we're going to measure 21.5 centimeters from A to touch the line C. There. So what I just do right now is that I just draw that line straight down. You just square it all the way. You just square the line down. So now we're going to draw the sleeve head. For the front armhole, we're going to divide 21.5 into 2 and add 1 to get our point. So 21 divided by 2 will give us 10.5. So 21.5, that will give us 10.75 plus 1. So I'm going to measure 11.75 from here. You'll see the formula written just up there. $11.75, and then I will divide this into 2. I'll divide this part into 2. I'm just going to use my measuring tape so that I don't have to work with any calculations. So I have this point here. And I have this point here, and I'm going to label them G, H, and I. Right? So now we're going to start drawing our curves. Lower, find the center of D. We're going to, this is our C1, C2. You find the center of D to C. Here I have 3, and lower it by 0.5 centimeters. 0.5 centimeters for the back armhole, and then you raise F at 2 centimeters. It can be anything from 1.5 to 2 centimeters. So I'm going to raise my F by 2 centimeters. And then I'll draw my curve. You notice how I place my 2 curves so that I can get, you notice how I place them so that I can get a fluid line. So this is my back armhole curve. So we're going to do the front armhole curve. So for the at G, you raise it 2.5 centimeters. And you lower at I 1 centimeter. And then you draw your curve once again. Oh, okay. I have to clean it up. I didn't do my curve properly. Good. So I have my front. I'm just drawing it in black pen so that you can see it properly. So now we have our back armhole and we have our front hole all done. You can see how just so quickly we have been able to draft our sleeve. So for the wrist, we decided to take 22 centimeters for our wrist. So we're going to measure equidistant, so 11 centimeters on each side, especially when you want to shape, or if you just want a plain straight sleeve, then you are done. But if you want to start shaping your sleeve, then you take your wrist measurement and share it equally on both sides. And then just draw your line there to meet. So this is our grain line. That's the center of our sleeve. And so now we are done with our sleeve, with the drafting of our sleeve. What you can also do is that to find out how much ease you have on we're going to now measure the sleeve head of the drafted sleeve to see what the difference in the measurement and see how much ease that we will have, because you always need a little ease in your sleeve. You take your measurement the same way. So my total sleeve here measures 47.6 centimeters. That's 47.6 centimeters. While my total sleeve head for the block is 23 centimeters plus 21 centimeters, which will give me 44 centimeters. So the total ease on this sleeve head is just about 3.6 centimeters, which is not much, which is something that will be very, very easy to ease in to the sleeve. In the next lesson, I'll be teaching you how to put a dart on your sleeve. So it can either be a dart from the wrist or the elbow dart. I think we'll start with the elbow dart in case you want to use it to create any other designs. So till next time, keep learning.